There comes a moment in every life when you look around and realize you don't know what you're doing anymore. Everything feels uncertain. The plans that once felt so clear suddenly make no sense. The road you were walking on seems to have vanished beneath your feet. You wake up and wonder, what am I even doing with my life? And in that quiet confusion, something sacred is happening, something your human mind may not yet understand, but your spirit does. Because when you reach that place of not knowing, you are standing on holy ground. You are standing at the doorway of transformation. You see, the truth is, you never really knew what you were doing. You only thought you did. You believed you were in control of your direction, your timing, your purpose. But life has a beautiful way of peeling away illusion, of taking from your hands everything that is not meant to stay, so that you can finally learn to trust something greater than your logic. You're not lost. You're being led. And though your mind may fight to understand, your heart knows the way. The heart always knows. It's easy to forget that this confusion is not punishment. It's preparation. When life seems uncertain, it's not because something has gone wrong. It's because something new is being born. The seed must first disappear into the darkness before it can push through the soil and reach for the light. So, when you feel like you don't know what you're doing anymore, that's not the end. It's the beginning. It means your old identity is dissolving. The version of you that needed to have everything figured out is dying away, so that the version of you who trusts, who surrenders, who walks by faith, can finally live. You may not see it now, but this uncertainty is the most sacred moment of your life. It's where faith is born. Not the kind of faith that depends on proof or signs, but the kind of faith that whispers, even though I can't see it, I know something beautiful is happening for me. There is a quiet power in surrender, to say, I don't know, but I trust. That is where miracles unfold. Think of the caterpillar. If it could think as we do, it would panic inside the cocoon. It would say, everything I knew is falling apart. I can't move. I can't see. I don't understand what's happening. But in that stillness, when nothing makes sense, it is being transformed into something unimaginable. And when it finally emerges, it realizes nothing was ever wrong. Every part of the process was perfect. You are inside your own cocoon right now. The confusion, the stillness, the loss of direction, it's all the sacred work of transformation. So instead of trying to force clarity, what if you allowed this moment to be what it is? What if you let go of needing to understand and simply rested in trust? What if you said to yourself, I may not know what I'm doing, but I know I'm not alone. There is a divine intelligence guiding you. It's the same intelligence that moves the ocean, that turns night into morning, that paints the sky at sunset. It knows what it's doing with your life. It knows exactly how to lead you where you're meant to go. Sometimes the confusion is necessary, so you can stop leaning on your own understanding and start listening to the quiet voice within, the voice that says, be still. I am working. This is not a time to run away or to panic. It's a time to listen, to slow down, to breathe, to be gentle with yourself. The greatest clarity often comes when you stop chasing answers and start embracing presence. Everything in life moves in seasons. There are seasons of clarity and there are seasons of not knowing. Both are divine. You cannot rush the winter into spring, and you cannot force understanding before it's time. But you can trust that no season lasts forever. The fog will lift. The way will reveal itself. And when it does, you'll realize that the confusion had purpose. It taught you to rely on something higher than your plan. And in one sacred text it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Those words are not about religion. They are about trust. They are an invitation to rest in the knowing that your path is being directed, even when you cannot see the map. When you find yourself saying, I don't know what to do anymore, what you're really saying is, I've reached the edge of my human knowing. And that's the perfect place for divine knowing to begin. Do you remember the feeling of being a child when you didn't know how tomorrow would go, but you never worried? You trusted that somehow things would work out. You played, you laughed, you dreamed. That is the kind of trust you are being called back to now. Not the trust of logic, but the trust of the heart. Let your heart lead. Let it guide you one small step at a time. Don't demand the whole plan. Just take the next breath, the next step, the next act of faith. There's a quiet voice that speaks when you stop trying to figure everything out. Doesn't shout, it whispers. Just try this. Call them. Rest today. Wait a little longer. That's the voice of the divine within you. And when you follow it, you'll find that life begins to unfold With ease and grace, you were never meant to control the entire picture. You were meant to walk by faith through each frame, and even if it feels like everything around you is crumbling, remember, sometimes what looks like falling apart is actually falling into place. You are being aligned with something far greater than you can see right now. The people who left, the plans that failed, the confusion that weighs heavy, it's all clearing the way for something you couldn't have received otherwise. So stop saying, I don't know what I'm doing, as though it's a bad thing. Instead say, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know who's guiding me. There is a power that never leaves you. It never stops working on your behalf. It sees beyond your confusion, beyond your fear, beyond your uncertainty, and it whispers, all is well. Right now, life is inviting you to trust that unseen hand, to close your eyes and step forward, not because you understand, but because you believe. When you walk by faith, even in the fog, you find that the next step always appears at the right moment. You find that the confusion softens. You find that peace doesn't come from having answers. It comes from having trust. Maybe everything feels unclear because you've outgrown the old version of yourself. You're no longer meant to live in the way you once did. The path ahead requires a new kind of faith, a deeper kind of surrender. The universe is not asking you to have all the answers. It's asking you to believe that the answers are on their way. So, when you don't know what you're doing anymore, take it as a sign that you're closer to your true path than ever before. You are shedding the illusion of control and stepping into the reality of trust. Remember this. Confusion is not chaos, it's creation in disguise. It's life rearranging itself to fit your highest good. One day soon, you'll look back on this season and smile. You'll see that every moment of uncertainty was leading you home, to peace, to purpose, to yourself. So, breathe, be still, trust. You're not lost, my friend. You're being guided. You're not falling apart. You're being reborn. And even when you don't know what you're doing anymore, the truth remains. Life knows exactly what it's doing with you. And while you walk through this in-between space, remember that this is where your faith is strengthened. This is where your heart expands. This is where the unseen roots of your next season are quietly growing beneath the soil of your surrender. Every great change begins in uncertainty. Every transformation requires a period of unknowing. The flower does not question the darkness of the seed. It trusts that the light will return. And the light always does. You may feel like you've lost your sense of direction, but sometimes direction is not about movement, it's about alignment. You're being aligned with what truly belongs to you. The stillness, the confusion, the pause, they are not empty spaces, they are divine pauses, sacred moments of recalibration. Perhaps this season is teaching you to let go of the need to be certain, to realize that peace is not found in knowing what comes next, but in trusting that whatever comes next is for your good. Reach a point where the plans no longer make sense. That's your cue to stop striving and start allowing. You've been trying so hard to figure it all out, to make the next move, to force clarity, but life is asking for your trust, not your control. Trust that the same power that guided you this far will guide you again. You've been led before, haven't you? Through storms, through endings, through heartbreaks that once felt impossible, and somehow you're still here, still breathing, still capable of love, still capable of beginning again. So let yourself begin again. Let this be the chapter where you say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm still moving forward. Let this be the chapter where your faith becomes bigger than your fear. There is something deeply freeing about admitting you don't know. Because in that moment, you open the door for miracles. You give permission for the divine to take over, to rearrange the pieces in ways your human understanding never could. You might wake up one morning and realize that the confusion was never a problem. It was a passage, that everything unclear was actually guiding you toward a greater clarity than you've ever known. So, don't be afraid of not knowing. Don't rush to fill the silence. Don't try to fix what isn't broken. Sit with it, breathe with it, let it be your teacher. Because when you finally stop running from uncertainty and begin to rest inside it, that's when the whisper returns, that's when inspiration flows again, that's when peace replaces panic. Every ending you face is a doorway disguised as loss. Every unanswered question is an invitation to faith. Every moment you say, I don't know, is a quiet opportunity for the universe to say, I do. The unknown is not your enemy, it's your birthplace. The place where your next miracle will find you. And though you may not see the full picture right now, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Everything you need to know will unfold at the right time, in the right way. Keep your heart open, keep your trust steady, keep your faith alive. Because the moment you stop needing to know what you're doing, that's when life begins to show you what it's truly capable of. So let yourself rest inside the mystery. Let yourself breathe in the not knowing. Every great dream is born out of a space just like this, quiet, uncertain, open. It's the space where you let go of your old identity, your old fears, your old timelines, and create room for the new. Sometimes you don't need to take massive action. You just need to be still long enough for the next inspired step to arise naturally. That's how divine direction feels. It's not forced, it flows. It doesn't demand, it invites. It doesn't come through fear, it comes through faith. If you're in a place where you feel disconnected, remember, this is where you reconnect. Not to the world, but to yourself. When you no longer know what you're doing, you start to ask deeper questions. Who am I really? What do I truly desire? What matters most to me? Those questions aren't signs of confusion, they're signs of awakening. And as you ask, life will begin to whisper back. It will show you symbols, send you people, place ideas in your heart that feel alive. You'll feel that subtle pull again, that sense of peace that says, this way. Don't be afraid of starting over. Starting over is not failure, it's grace. It's life giving you a fresh canvas. It's your soul saying, we've learned what we needed to learn here. Let's begin anew. Every time you release your need to know, you make room for something better to come through. You allow the flow of divine intelligence to lead. And that guidance is never wrong. It's perfect, even when it feels slow. Maybe you're being called to rest for a while. Maybe you're being asked to stop striving and start receiving. Maybe you're being shown that the path ahead isn't about more effort. It's about more trust. Trust that even the silence has meaning. Trust that even the waiting is productive. Trust that what seems like nothing happening is actually the most important work being done within you. Because deep within that uncertainty, your heart is being reshaped. Your vision is being refined. You are being prepared for something that fits the truth of who you've become. So instead of saying, I'm lost, try saying, I'm in transition. Instead of saying, I don't know what I'm doing, say, I'm learning to listen. Shift your words and you'll shift your energy. Shift your energy and you'll shift your world. You are never truly without direction. You are guided by something deeper than logic, a quiet wisdom that always knows what's next, even when you don't. All you need to do is make space for it. Be still enough to hear it. The answers you seek are already forming. They're gathering in unseen places, aligning themselves perfectly with your highest good. You don't need to chase them. They will find you when you're ready. And when they do, everything will begin to make sense. Every delay, every confusion, every closed door will reveal itself as part of a greater perfection, the kind you can only see once you've stopped trying to control the story and started trusting its author. For now, let your only job be faith. Faith in the timing, faith in the process, faith that even when you don't know what you're doing, life still knows exactly where it's leading you. Let this moment become a turning point inside you, a soft surrender into peace instead of panic. You've been trying to think your way out of uncertainty, but maybe this time it's not something to be solved. It's something to be felt. Maybe this is where your heart learns. Your never could, that you are carried always, even in the silence. You don't have to fight the unknown. Let it hold you. Let it stretch you. Let it reveal to you what still needs to be released. When you stop resisting, you begin to see that the unknown isn't dark at all. It's luminous, full of divine potential, waiting for your quiet acceptance. There's something sacred about not knowing. It humbles you, it softens you, it strips away the layers of pretense and brings you back to truth. You realize how little control you ever had and how beautifully orchestrated everything still was. You begin to see that even your mistakes, your detours, your pauses were perfectly placed to lead you exactly here. You are not off track. You are not behind. You are precisely where you need to be to remember who you really are. Every path of awakening passes through uncertainty. Even the greatest souls walk through seasons where they didn't know what to do next. Moments of surrender, that divine clarity emerged, not as a loud command, but as a quiet knowing. And that knowing will come for you too. It always does. It will rise like the dawn after the longest night. One morning you'll wake up and realize you're not confused anymore. You'll simply know, you'll feel it deep in your chest. A peace that doesn't depend on answers. A direction that doesn't need validation. Until then, let your heart rest in faith. Faith that there is meaning even in the mess. Faith that nothing is being wasted. Faith that this pause is part of your becoming. Keep choosing presence over panic, trust over tension, softness over striving. Every time you do, you align yourself more closely with the rhythm of grace, the quiet pulse of divine order that never stops guiding your every step. You don't need to know where it's leading. You just need to take the next gentle breath, open your heart a little wider, and keep walking in love, even through the mystery. Because somewhere within this uncertainty lies the seed of your next great revelation. The moment you'll finally see that not knowing was never the absence of direction. It was the invitation to discover who was guiding you all along. So, my dear friend, when you reach that place where you don't know what you are doing anymore, don't see it as failure. See it as a sacred invitation. Life is asking you to release control and step into trust. It's calling you to let go of the need to understand and to rest in the truth that you are being led, shaped, and loved through every moment of uncertainty. You are not lost. You are being redirected. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. And though it may feel like everything is unraveling, it's only so that something far greater can be woven together for you. Hold on to faith, even when your hands are trembling. Keep your heart open, even when it aches. Because the very moment you stop fighting the unknown and start trusting its wisdom, that's when the light breaks through. That's when everything begins to make sense. Remember, you don't have to know what you're doing, because love, grace, and divine order already do. And they're carrying you, even now, into the life that was always meant for you.